Hello, tribe, and welcome to day 2 of the Level Up Your Relationships Challenge. I'm excited. We are here, ready to start day number 2. Listen, so today internet decided to stop working for us, well, at least Instagram and Facebook. So I am doing this on recording because here we are dedicated and we said we were going to do one live, one training for 5 days straight. So here I am. Whenever Facebook or Instagram is available, I'm going to upload this video. So everybody's going to be watching this on replay, I guess. So when you watch this replay, let me know, comment hashtag team replay so that I know that you are watching training number 2. This is also useful because I want to be able to talk to you, know how you're doing, and if you have any questions you already know, you can ask me anything. All right, let's get down to it. So yesterday when we had our first training, we just got introduced to the topic of relationships. I told you a little bit about myself, and then we spoke about the things that really can affect the way you see, do, and think about relationships, right? So we've been through that. I'm just doing a little bit of a recap in case you didn't watch the previous one. I would say go watch it because it's very foundational, but it's important, right? Because it's the foundation and it's the base. And I always like to start from the beginning. So this is what we did yesterday. And after that, we created our next level relationships vision. By the way, yesterday I also shared with you a little PDF thingy that you can use to go deeper into this topic, okay? You will find it inside of the guides, just like everything else related to this training, okay? So this is what we did. We had this assessment that I found it was very powerful, and did the visualization exercise. If you want to do the visualization exercise, then you just have to go to day 1 and do it. Hold on, because I have coffee today. From my coffee. I came prepared today. Yesterday I was too nervous. I hope you couldn't tell. And if you could, that's fine. It is what it is. Here we accept each other. We embrace ourselves, right? Okay. So today what we're going to do is talk about the relationship with self. As I told you yesterday in the previous training, the relationship with self is probably, well, for me, it's the most important relationship that you will have in your life, right? And it's the most important relationship for you to be able to relate to other people in a healthy and fulfilling way, right? So let's talk about why is it so important. This is a training for you to improve your relationships, right? So you should expect me to talk about boundaries. You should expect me to talk about other people's behavior. And yes, we're going to talk about this, right? But it's you in relationship with other people, right? So the way you treat yourself, the way you are in relationship with yourself is pretty much a roadmap to how people can treat you, right? So usually if you don't treat yourself with respect, that is going to transpire in other relationships, either romantic relationships, friends. If you are always saying yes when you want to say no, this is going to transpire in your other relationships. And then if you want to have healthy relationships, you need to have that authenticity, that openness to be yourself. You need to be able to be vulnerable. And that is going to happen only if you are in a healthy relationship with yourself. When I say healthy, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about you have a perfect relationship with yourself. I'm talking about healthy relationship with yourself. And we're going to go deeper into that. I was going to say something and then I forgot. But okay, if I remember. Oh, okay, I remembered. So everything that I'm going to share with you today is a life's work, right? The relationship with yourself is never done, is never, that's it, that's not going to change. The relationship with yourself is going to evolve throughout the time, right? So it's always beautiful for you to check where you are, where you want to be, if you're happy with the relationship that you have with yourself right now, or if you can make some improvements, right? I believe this is a training everybody should have. This is a training I give myself from time to time. I have conversations with myself. I'm like, we're good. Just to, to make sure I'm on good terms with myself. That might sound a little bit crazy, but you got to do what you got to do to have a healthy relationship with yourself. Okay. So this is a lifetime work. Don't worry if you're not there now. Today, we're going to talk about all these things that can help you nurture the relationship with yourself and the different factors that get into you having this healthy relationship with self. Okay, I hope you're ready. Let's take a deep breath together. Whew. Okay, all right. Just checking my notes. We spoke about why it matters, why is it important. That's it. Okay, let's continue. All right, so when we're talking about you being in relationship with yourself, we have to think about a couple of things, right? So I've divided it into the need of honoring yourself and also you being your best friend, but really be your best friend. Not like people say, be your best friend, and we have some sort of idea, but just like really being your best friend. So in order to have a healthy relationship with yourself, you need to honor yourself and you need to be your best friend, but like for real, for real. Okay? All right, let's get back. Let me put this a little bit bigger because I can see. All right. Okay, so when we're talking about honoring yourself, you've got to understand that you have different parts of you within yourself that make you who you are. And part of those things, right, are your values, your preferences, your emotions, right? So we should always aim when it comes to having a relationship with ourselves and with others, because your values are supposed to dictate what people you have in your life, right? What people you allow in your life. So you should consider all that, your values, your preferences, right? And I feel that we survivors, people who have been through a lot, because you here in this happy survivors tribe, you are either a survivor of trauma and abuse or somebody who just knows they've been through a lot, right? And what happens when we've been through a lot is that usually we leave our preferences to the side because our needs do not matter, right? That's what we've learned at a certain time. So your preferences do matter. Where can you see that you are not honoring your preferences? You can see it when you are people pleasing. Somebody's asking you, all right, we're going out, we're going to have dinner. Where do you want to go? And you know you've been dying to go to that Italian restaurant. And then you say, it doesn't matter. It does matter because you prefer to go to the Italian restaurant. So why not give yourself that, right? That goes to you in relationship with others and with yourself. If you know you prefer something, give yourself that. Another thing you should honor is your emotions. And I would also add here our intuition, because some of us, we have this strong intuition. And I know a friend, she's like, I actually know a couple of friends because I mean, you get together with people who are kind of like you, right? And I know she has got this huge intuitive power. She ignores it all the time and I don't like it. Okay, we should honor our values, our preferences, our emotions. This is how you honor yourself, right? And then to the side, I also mentioned, I'm moving my mouse like you are going to see my mouse over there. It's so crazy, the things that we do when we're live and we understand that you don't see everything. Anyways, pretend that I'm pointing on boundaries now. Where is it? Pretend that I'm pointing at boundaries. Another thing, we should make sure we honor are our boundaries. Now, I'm not gonna get into our boundaries too much because you are going to have a training dedicated just for boundaries. We're going to talk about everything related to boundaries, when to set them, how to set them, how can you set your own boundaries, different types of boundaries, how to make them stick. We're going to talk about all that. So for today, I'm just going to focus on the other things that we're looking at it right now. Okay. So in order for you to honor yourself, you must honor your values, your preferences, your emotions, and your boundaries. If you got this part, you are going to have the most beautiful relationships in the world. Because if you know your values, you're not going to put yourself in certain situations. If you're not ashamed of your preferences, you are going to be able to say, no, you know what? I rather do this thing here. And that doesn't mean you need to be like a mean person and you just do whatever you want. No, that means that you are aware of your preferences and that you do not deny yourself the things that you enjoy in life and that you prefer, right? So in order to you honoring yourself, you would need to honor your preferences as well. Once in a while, not saying all preferences, maybe this is too hard for you because you are a people pleaser, right? Oh, I hate the sound of it. You are used to people please. You are not a people pleaser. That's not who you are, okay? That's what we say, and it's not nice, right? Another beautiful thing to take care of when you are working on the relationship with yourself is the language. So you don't want to say, oh, I'm such a people pleaser. No, I am used to being a people pleaser. I am used to people please, right? But I'm changing that. Where was I going with that? I think, well, anyways, we need to honor that. So, oh yes, I know what I was going to say. Go bit by bit. If you are used to people please, what I want you to do is not just don't go overboard and now on it's just what you want to do. I know that's even difficult to think about, but start with little things, simple things, and then build up. I was a major people pleaser and I was terrible at receiving. I cannot imagine a most horrible combination because I couldn't even say yes or no or say what I wanted. And when people wanted to do like nice things for me, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. And it was hard for me at first. So what did I do? Just start going slowly, right? Just choose the TV channel for once, right? Say, oh no, actually, I want to watch Bridgerton today. I'm watching Bridgerton. that's why it was at the top of my head. Okay. And then your emotions, I mean, this is crucial. This is crucial to honor what you feel, how you feel, and learning that your emotions are valid. Your emotions are valid. So I always like to say this is kind of not related to this topic, but just came to my mind. So I like to say that feelings are not up for discussion. And well, that is a way of honoring yourself, isn't it? Just acknowledging that feelings are feelings. And if you feel a certain way, you feel a certain way. Can you change it? Can you change the way you feel about something? Yeah. But the feeling is there, and that's okay. And all feelings are valid. Okay, let me take a sip of my coffee and take a deep breath in. If I were live, I would be like, okay, let me check if somebody said something in the comments and just. So anyways, this way we also have kind of like a break to think about it. So I hope that this part of honoring yourself really speaks to you, to the need of you having a healthy relationship and knowing healthy relationship with yourself and knowing that in order to do that, you will have to honor yourself. Because if you're not honoring that, I guarantee it's not going to be a healthy relationship because you are at fault with yourself, right? And this is a beautiful segue to go to the next step, because I want you to start thinking about the relationship you have with you, like the relationship you have with a friend, right? If you, for example, where am I going? If you, for example, don't honor your values, let's say you are friends with Mariah, right? And you got friends with Mariah because she's such an honest person, but Mariah is always lying. Are you still going to be friends with Mariah? Is the relationship going to be the same? It's not going to be the same. And that's exactly what happens when you don't keep your promises, for example. One thing we don't realize is that our brain, our mind is always working and thinking, right? So you are in relationship with yourself. That sounds like I'm talking about two people, but the thing is, you are doing something now, right? And this thing is going to affect the way you see yourself. So, for example, today we have day 2 of the Level Up Your Relationships Challenge. And I promised myself, this is going to be 5-day challenge. I'm going to do a video. I said I was going to do live, but anyways, I'm going to make a video. And every day I'm going to give you a training, right? Got myself ready, all prepared. I was like, I put a little bit of lipstick and stuff. And the internet is not here, but it's not here. The internet is here. We don't have Facebook and Instagram. And I was like, I promised myself I was going to do this. And I promised everybody in my tribe that I was going to do this. I'm already ready. Why don't I do it? Let's do this. Here I am recording that. What that does to me is that I feel proud of myself. I feel confident. I feel like, oh my God, you had a problem. And instead of being like, yeah, so no recording, because it's you may look at me and be like, yeah, she does this every day. I get nervous every day. Right? It's better now. But for this challenge, since it's like bigger, I felt nervous every day. And this could be seen as an awesome opportunity to skip a day. Well, Instagram was not working, but I was like, you know what? Let me stick to my word. Let me be my friend. Let me tell it like it is. Okay? So this is just an example of how important it is for you to honor yourself, right? I have a set of values, and today I decided to honor them. In this situation, of course, I'm not flawless, right? And that's why we need kindness and compassion. So when we think about this second part, right? I want you to honor yourself, for you to have a healthy relationship with yourself. And I want you to really be your best friend. And I said, really be your best friend. Don't just like, oh yeah, I'm my best friend. I do some, I go to the spa a few times. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you being your best friend, but for real. That means being honest. Really, I don't care about what you say to other people, but honesty is important. Like, you have to go to bed and know that you are honest with yourself, right? You cannot go to bed and you have an unhappy relationship and you're not happy, and you go to bed and you say, yeah, this is good, this is gonna get better, just another day, just another year. No, you've got to be honest with yourself, because your mind knows when you're lying. Your true self, your soul, knows when you're lying. So if you want to have a healthy relationship with yourself and others, you need to be honest with yourself first. Does that mean that you are going to, let's say you are, that example that I said, you are in this relationship, you're not happy. Does that mean that now you have to kind of, tell yourself you need to leave today? No. I mean honesty, brutally honest. Yeah, this relationship sucks, but I'm comfortable right now. I'm going to give myself some time to sort it out. Like when I'm honest with myself, I call myself out of my, my BS, and I feel better. I'm like, okay, you know what, Erica, it is what it is. And then you'll find a solution. So honesty, kindness and compassion, right? If you are your best friend, you know when to apply kindness and compassion. You know when you're being too hard on yourself, right? You know that. And then we've got commitment. I love this because that's how you show up for yourself, right? Commitment. If you decide you're going to lose weight and you said, okay, next week I'm going to start doing these exercises, blah, 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 commit to that. I seem to always circle back to the question of you keeping your promises to yourself. But honestly, that's the best way that I know to help you have a healthy relationship with yourself. And also, it's huge if you are working on your self-confidence, right? Huge, huge, huge. Then we've got self-forgiveness. Okay, all of us here, we've been through something. We've been through a lot. We've suffered a lot. We've done some things that we are not proud of. We all done some things that we're not proud of. Now the thing, can you forgive yourself? Listen, I don't care if you forgive whoever. Like, I don't believe that people should forgive other people that did them wrong, right? I don't believe that. Oh, you have to forgive your abuser because how can you heal? Yes, you can heal. Yes, you can move on. Okay, like you're gonna be fine if it comes from your heart. Do the forgiveness to other person. But the most important thing is for you to self-forgive, especially the things that you've done when you were in survival mode. Okay? Sometimes I'm so embarrassed thinking about all these years that I went to university and I was completely numb, like numb. I don't even remember those people. I don't know what I did there. It was just like horrible. You know what I mean? So I have to forgive myself for that, for not being there, for checking out, for, hanging out with people that had nothing to do with me, being in relationships that I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. Forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you're going to be always, nagging. And we don't like nagging, okay? We like self-love. We like kindness and compassion. We like self-care, okay? I speak a lot about self-care. Self-care is huge. And I don't talk about self-care in just like, okay, let's go to a spa, do your nails. I don't even have my nails done. For me, self-care is you doing anything that you need to take care of yourself. Listen, I'm a survivor of complex trauma. I need to meditate every day. What do? Meditate every day. Sometimes I skip it and it sucks. Okay? But I know I need to do that. Imagine you have a friend and she was anxious and then she told you, listen, you know what helped me? I don't feel anxious anymore. That was the meditation. Next time she's anxious, you're going to ask, did you meditate? So that's the same thing you need to do with yourself, for yourself, right? And then there's the commitment. We spoke about that. And then that's the self-love, right? The self-love part. Love yourself. And here, I need to tell you one thing. This is all practice. This, for many of us, is not going to come easy, right? Kindness and compassion? Work hard, right? It's not going to come easy because of where you came from, but you can practice it, okay? So think about all these components and think about which ones do you need to practice more. Do you need to practice more kindness and compassion? Do you need to practice more self-care, more self-love? as I said, this is a lifetime work, right? And listen, I work with people, and for a couple of months, this is what we do, because you need to practice. You need to learn how to be your best friend. You need to learn how you function, right? So don't take this as like, oh my God, I'm so far away of having a healthy relationship with myself. Start slow. And remember, even if you have an awesome relationship with yourself, you're going to fall into some traps. But the good thing is that you get back, okay? Get back on track and be your best friend again. Be like, oh, damn, we really messed up. Okay. How do we fix this? That's the attitude that I want you to have, okay, towards yourself. And this is the attitude that's going to help you attract more kind and mindful people into your life, because people can sense this type of energy. They do. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, I forgot I put this here. Okay, let me see how many slides have I got. Okay, perfect. All right, now I am just giving you some questions for you to check in the relationship with yourself, right? So this is a little bit of what we spoke so far, all right? So you can ask yourself, do you know your values? Like, do I know my values? Do I have to revisit my values? Listen, talking about values, values change throughout the time. And I recently had to kind of change the values that I had, because I was like, okay, I am embracing all of these values. I am embracing authenticity, right? I am embracing honesty. I am embracing freedom. And one last thing, well, not the last thing, but what I want to start embracing right now is abundance. I want abundance to be a part of my value. And I want to start honoring that by not having a scarcity mentality. By when I share things, I'm sharing things, and these things are shared and they're there and it doesn't matter. When I am working and I'm charging for a service, I'm charging for a service with an open heart and a receiving energy, right? Not scarcity. So this is like one of those values that I'm like, okay, I value this at this point of my life. But I have been through a lot. And what I've learned is that I'm not worthy. So I need to change that. And I do understand that in other areas of my life. But when it comes to money and wealth, I still need to make some changes. So do you see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about values? You knowing your values, honoring your values. It is really worth it to sit down and think about your values from time to time, because they change. There was a time where I valued security more. No, the other way around. There was a time where I valued freedom. I just wanted to be free. I didn't care where I lived. And it was fun and it was wonderful, until I met somebody who was actually free. And I didn't like it. I didn't like that lifestyle. So I learned that indeed I value security. I value, yes, traveling, but having my home base, right? So yeah, I love this values subject. So I hope you like it too. And I hope that you, because this is the base for the relationship with yourself, because you have your values and you want to honor them. And this is going to affect your relationship with others, and also like what kind of people do you bring into your life, right? When you are sure of your values, you're going to see that your relationships are going to start changing, and you're going to start hanging out with different people, because you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, that person has hold the same values as I do. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. Now, do you keep the promises you make to yourself? So this is the perfect place for you to ask yourself, what promises am I breaking towards myself? Am I saying myself, am I telling myself that I'm going to wake up at a certain time and I don't? Is it something that I'm doing? I'm giving you very simple examples. Hope you don't mind. If you have something more specific and you want to ask, just ask. You can put the question in the group or DM me, and I'm going to ask, I'm going to answer them or give you a different example, or you tell me the situation and I will exemplify. How can you work on that? Okay. So yeah. And don't think that I am telling you never break promises ever again, like you're going to have a terrible relationship with yourself. No, it's just something that we should be aware, because this really undermines your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and the relationship you have with yourself. So you don't want to do that a lot. If you see that you are breaking promises over and over again about one thing, change the promise. You're probably doing too much. I'm sorry, I have to say it that way because that's what I do. I'm gonna be like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. And I'm like, no, you're not. It's not gonna happen. And that's fine, right? If you don't need it, that's fine. Now, another point you can do to check in the relationship with yourself. Do you say yes when you want to say no, and no when you want to say yes? You're not honoring yourself. If this happens, you're not honoring yourself. Can you do this sometimes? Obviously, but not all the time. And I need you to honor yourself so you can go into relationships. Because if you don't honor yourself on your own, you go into relationships unprepared. And it's going to be easy to take advantage of you. Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Okay, so I need you to implement that. Okay, no is a complete sentence. And the other question is, do you practice self-care? Meaning you do the things you need to take care of yourself. As simple as it is, right? And if you want to go wild, please go wild. I love a good spa and massage. That's good as well. All right. And then to end, let me take a sip on something because I'm thirsty. Coffee is not good for thirst, so hold on. Okay. And lastly, we've got you in relationship with others. We spoke about all this. Everything that we spoke today is really related to how you relate to yourself. I gave you a few clues for how to use this and how this is going to influence the relationship you have with others. So I'm just going to kind of like wrap it up and add whatever I didn't say. I like this one. Does this happen to you? You write something and then you completely forget, and then you're like, oh, I did that. Okay. Take your true self and the new you to the relationships. So something that happens a lot, and especially when it comes to family dynamics and relationships that are older than life, is that we do all this personal work, all this healing, and then all of a sudden we go to Kate's house and we forget about who we are. And all of a sudden we are this person we don't even know where they came from. So we start behaving in a way that it's not in alignment with our values, everything that we've learned, everything that we worked so hard to achieve. So I would say to you, and I love doing this with my clients, sometimes in session, when they are particularly nervous about a meeting, an encounter, a family gathering. And I always like to ask them, okay, describe this new you. How can you describe yourself right now? How, like, you're powerful? Yeah, okay, so right now with this work that I've been doing, I feel powerful, I feel confident, I feel like I'm worthy. And then they start like going from there, right? And I'm like, take that person with you to that freaking meeting. What the hell? And then something clicks and they're like, damn, of course, like I'm this now. This is who I am right now. So if you've been doing the work, take this person, this new person with you, right? Obviously, you have to make some preparations and you have to ground yourself, right? As I said, lifetime topic over here. And this is something that actually I can work with you in session, knowing who you are, right? And helping you take that person there. So I'm going to leave it there. But for you to understand what I'm telling you is that if you have been doing the work, remember to take that person into your new relationships and understand that you are that person now. Even though you have been a different person for 20 years, it does not matter. Who you are now, it's what matters. Okay? So take that person with you at all times. Okay? Integrate her, embody her, or them, or him. Okay, and if you feel like you need help with this part of like being your authentic self, being in a healthy relationship with yourself, and if you want to work more deep into this is my jam. Send me a DM and let's talk about it, because I may have like the right program to help with that, for sure, because we do that all the time in my sessions. Now, different thing. Make a commitment to honor yourself and renew it as often as necessary. So today, you are watching this and you can say, okay, from today, I don't know what date you are watching this, probably not the date that I recorded, but from today, I commit to honor my values at all times. My name is Erica, and I always honor my values. My name is Erica, and I stand up for myself. Commit to that. Say it, write it, make the commitment. Now, last thing that can help you to jumpstart your relationship with others, creating healthy dynamics, is to create a relationship with self manifesto. Okay? You know what a manifesto is? Pretty much is I don't know how to explain what a manifesto is. It's like a piece of it's like a text, right? A piece of paper, or well, nowadays it's not even a piece of paper anymore, but where you write down your intentions, your new decisions, right? You can write down something like, I promise that from now on I will nurture the relationship with myself every day of the week. I commit to practicing self-care always and never forget to meditate again, because my mental health is important. I will no longer engage in unhealthy behaviors, right? So your manifesto can be as big or as small as you want. Now, this is what I wanted to share with you today. This is how you can improve the relationship with yourself, and so you can improve the relationship you have with others. In the guides section, you will find today's daily reflection task. And in there, you will find one page where you can write down your manifesto and the notes of the session. So, and the notes of whatever you think about from this session. So share your homework. Well, this is homework in my head. This is like, this is their homework, but let's call it daily reflection test. It sounds better, right? So share it in the group so I know that you did the task. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this session. I cannot wait to connect with you again tomorrow for another training on leveling up your relationships. Just a little reminder, you are worthy because you were born worthy. So, okay, so let me repeat that because I want to look at you while I say that. Okay, there you go. Just a little reminder, you are worthy because you were born worthy, so you better start acting like it. And I'm happy you're here because that's what you're doing. You are acknowledging your worth and you are acknowledging that you are worthy of having next level relationships, healthy relationships with yourself and others. Mwah. I'll see you tomorrow.